Depending on how far along you are in your fragrance journey, have you ever thought about if you were to make your own fragrance, how would you go about it? What type of notes would be in it? Would it tell a story? If I was to release a fragrance, I would want it to tell a story. I would want it to show a little bit of my heritage, a little bit of my taste, actually a lot of bit of my taste. It would really be something that would be focused in on the type of fragrances that I personally really enjoy, something that I could be passionate about making and passionate about wearing. What type of fragrance would you make? What's up everybody, my name is Cam and thank you so much for tuning in to CFR. So yeah, today is a little bit more than a hypothetical question. It's about a journey. It's a journey that started a little over a year ago. I started dabbling, writing fragrance briefs. And I know what everybody's saying, oh no, not another YouTuber fragrance. Yeah, well, I think we all have that passion inside. Even if you layer your own fragrances and you come up with your own concoctions. My mom used to do that all the time. People be like, what are you wearing? She's like, it's my special little thing. It might be, 2 or 3 different fragrances. So I think a little bit of that may live in most of us anyway. Some people may just like everything boxed up and ready to go, but the creative side in us really makes us want to create ourselves. So as I was saying, this began with me writing briefs. And then I got a phone call about 2 a.m. one morning from George Zaharoff, and he was pitching me this idea that he was chewing on. And I won't go into great detail as to what he said to me or how it all came about. So I was actually one of 6 channels that were going to be in the first lineup of these Z creators. And as you may know or may not know, there's 3 channels, 3 left. I was one of the channels that left. But during that time that I was in before I got out, I did have a great experience working with an amazing perfumer. And how I went about creating this fragrance and bringing it to life was really with that perfumer. By me sending the briefs, I sent a story, I sent a music video, and I wanted this fragrance to really speak about my heritage as well. The North Carolina bootleggers, the whiskey bootleggers. During the Prohibition, they would be running from the law. Sometimes they would have, especially here in Johnston County, here in North Carolina, home of a lot of crazy stuff that went on here in the South. Bootlegging being one of the biggest things. They would have little cuts through tobacco fields. So this fragrance was, I wanted it to be boozy. I wanted it to be about those cars jutting through those tobacco fields, turning their headlights out, outrunning the law. Kind of an edgy type fragrance, but yet sexy and fun and mysterious, all this wrapped together. So I wrote a lot of different briefs, but I knew I wanted tobacco, I wanted it to be boozy, and I just didn't, know exactly where it was going to go. I had never written briefs before. I jotted down notes I thought that would work well together, so I actually submitted 8 different briefs. So he had a lot to work with. I sent the music video from Bottoms Up from Brantley Gilbert to him. And when I spoke to him, he's like, I was really inspired by so much information. I could see what you were telling me. I could feel the story. I could smell the scents in the air. So I got 3 different scent profiles submitted to me. And I chose one right out the bat. I said, this is it. If I can tweak it, I think we're gonna have us a winner. So as far as the fragrance was going, I felt like everything was going in the right direction. The perfumer and I really made a connection. He was able to really bring my ideas to life, and him being inspired, me being inspired, it was an awesome feeling. Now, even though this fragrance was definitely feeling right, there were other aspects of this project that just didn't feel right for me. So I started checking to see if there was any way that I could still bring this fragrance out. So I spoke to the perfumer. I was like, are you allowed to work independently with people? He said, I'm contracted through the Flavor House, which is not an unusual thing. It actually is job security for sure. So then I went to the Flavor House and I asked them, and they said, yes, but there would be certain ways that it would have to be done, and I followed those to the letter. and I thought all systems were a go for me to release my fragrance independently. So after everything was lined up, I had communication with the flavor house, I had communication with the perfumer. All of a sudden, I got radio silence from the flavor house, and it could be a number of different reasons. I don't think that it was anything personal, but what happened was I'm like, my fragrance is going to get shelved and it will never see the light of day. And this fragrance was too good just to be shelved. So I was really trying to figure out, how am I going to get this out? So I am a big believer in faith and fate, and as fate would have it, an opportunity came knocking on how I could actually get this fragrance out. So unfortunately, because I had to go another route, I could not keep the original perfumer, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I am very happy, and I know that this does resonate very loudly with what he originally came up with. So I didn't want it to be, like a clone, but it was our work that we did together. My briefs inspired him and our conversation, so I did have to modify it a little bit, but I really love that guy, and I feel like he did a marvelous job. I wish that we could have remained together. That's one thing that I wish I could have kept, but it is what it is. So I went back to the drawing board just a little bit with the fragrance. I tweaked a few things here and there. One of the things that I really wanted to do was kind of ramp the performance up. So I did that, tweaked a few things here and there with a little bit more freshness and a little bit more depth, a little bit more girth, and here we are. So here I sit at the cusp of getting ready to release my own fragrance, my own way, with no boundaries, no restrictions, and it's a great feeling. Now that I've got all that out of the way, let's talk about the fragrance itself. Now, ironically, this fragrance was built on the idea of the bootleggers. So we wound up with rum because it worked the best out of different boozy notes. Whiskey was definitely a thought because that seems like it might match the story a little bit better, but the rum note actually gave this fragrance like a different edge to it, to where it doesn't quite smell like anything else that you've smelled. So getting into the heart notes, we've got tobacco, dried fruits, honey, and vanilla. Then in the base, you have a resinous benzoin with a really nice rich tonka bean and sandalwood. Now this fragrance is very unique, very distinct, and mass appealing at the same time. Anytime like I smell my brother wearing this, I know what it is immediately. If I'm wearing it and somebody who has smelled this fragrance, they smell it on me, they know what it is. Now as I shuffle this fragrance around, letting people smell different modifications and everything, this particular scent profile was picked 99% of the time by females, including my ex-wife, whom, by the way, is not really a fan of fragrances. When she smelled this scent profile, she's like, I like that. So coming from her, I was like, oh, wow, maybe I have got something here. Now, I do feel that this fragrance is going to be more well suited for fall and winter. That's why I'm trying to go ahead and get this out and ready for fall and winter. But it also can be worn in warmer weather. I've tried it. It works. Just you don't want to overspray. As these darker, richer fragrances. I mean, some of you like just go ham year round, and that's fine. You're going to dig this if you're that type of person. I would definitely say that this is going to be one of those date night fragrances. It does have some sophistication as well as some ruggedness and some swagger. This is a fragrance that you could wear clubbing. This is just a very versatile fragrance, and I would say it's even signature scent worthy. And of course, if you're into compliments, it is what it is, yeah. If you're into that type of thing, this is definitely gonna work for that. So with that said, this is a men's fragrance. I'm not gonna label it as a unisex, but I don't want to cut the women out. I want you to try this fragrance, and I will make it where everybody can try it. Which brings me to the next thing, the price point. Now, because I don't have a big brand or big investors or anything like that behind me, I'm bringing this out to you from me, myself, 100% independently. I'm gonna make it very affordable to you because I don't have a ton to dump in to a fancy presentation or anything like that right now. So I'm just gonna initially put this out in a 15 ml bottle. But I am gonna make sure that it is a high quality bottle, high quality atomizer, and a nice label. I will be selling these 15 mLs for $35, and that will be shipped in the US. Now, for those of you who are international, I am looking into international shipping. Just give me time, I'm working on that. And as soon as I find out more about that, I will be giving details and updates as we move along. So we'll be taking all the money from these 15 mLs and using it as seed money to move it eventually into a 50 ml bottle. And as for the name of this fragrance, I'm going to do a follow-up on that. So I have a name and I have labels and all that stuff. I just wanted to get this out first, and then we'll do some follow-up stuff. And no, it's not gonna be like a bunch of videos about it. No, we're gonna get it up and running, and that's gonna be it. I'm not gonna keep like honking my own horn. I'm gonna let you guys speak volumes and just let everybody know, let all your friends that are frag heads know that this thing ain't no joke.
Ah, what is this smell, man? I love this smell.
So I'm sure some of you are like, okay, dude, when can I get my hands on this? When can I get my nostrils up on this fragrance? And the release date is going to be August, Friday the 13th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, people are like, dude, you're gonna release this on Friday the 13th? That's just how confident I am about this fragrance. It's that good. I'm not rattled by Friday the 13th or Jason Voorhees or anybody or anything else.
Justin, that does not work for me.
Now, this journey had a lot of twists and turns, a lot of uncertainty at times, but I do believe in everything working out in the end. And I really feel that this is going to be a spectacular fragrance that you guys are going to adore. Okay, so before I sign off, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who have supported me so far, and I am looking forward to a lot of great things with you in the future. A lot of plans of trying some new things here on this channel to spice things up, to make things fun and more interaction with you. So speaking of interaction with you, I am going to have 3 lucky winners who get to smell this fragrance and actually get the first 3 15 ml bottles that will be out before anybody can buy it. So all I want you to do is down in the comments is tell me why you want to try this fragrance. Does it speak to you? Just tell me something good, make me want to give you this fragrance. I'm going to give you guys 2 weeks to respond to that. Then I will shut the contest down. Once I read these comments, I will come out with a date where I will announce the 3 winners. And I hope you guys have a lot of fun with this. I appreciate your time. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll catch you guys next time.